Afternoon, guys. I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School. And what I thought I'd do today is just kind of walk you through a couple things I'm experimenting with this truck for camping. And one of the things I do use sometimes is a hammock stand that plugs into the receiver. And so I need a tarp big enough to cover that and the back of the truck so I could do cooking and things like that out of the back of the truck if I wanted to. And then I also wanted a smaller tarp that I might just use for an awning at times when I'm not planning on spending the night necessarily, but I might be staying there for the day to fish or whatever. So what I found works really, really well to ease in setup of tarps is simple magnets, especially because I have this steel smart cap on this truck. These magnets with these hooks on them make it very, very simplistic. I'm going to show you that today because I think it's something that you might be able to take forward if you've got a metal topper on your truck, camper, RV, or your Jeep as we have here. Stay with me, guys. So I've got stuff stacked in this deck system, the sliding drawer system underneath in the bed of my Jeep here. I've got it in here pretty well organized. I've still got some things I want to tweak in. But one thing is I've got my poles kind of underneath everything because they need to sit down in a swell down here. So I've got a first aid kit, the kit for my solar panels, and then I've got my partner stove that sits in here. And underneath that are the poles that I've been using for my tarp setups. And these are Green Elephant poles. There's a link to these in my Amazon store if you want to look them up. They're really sturdy, heavy duty poles. I've got 4 of them in here. I'm only going to use 2 of them today because I'm going to use more of an emergency space blanket tarp over top of this just to give me shade. So I'm going to pull those out. Go ahead and drop this partner stove back in. We're not going to use it for right now. And then put these 2 bags back on top and shut the drawer. Now we'll get us our poles and our magnets, and we'll grab the tarp real quick. Now it's probably worth talking about while we're in this drawer. I keep just a tool bag, like a Rothko tool bag in here. This has got a 10 by 13 tarp in it. It's got the stakes, it's got a couple magnets, and all those things, and some guy lines that I use to set up when I put a tarp completely over the top of this truck if I'm going to sleep in a hammock in the hitch. And I keep that in the backpack here, just like that. So that's there when I need it. Right now, we're going to use a smaller tarp for just a quick awning. Okay, so this is just a 5 foot by 7 foot emergency space blanket. This one happens to be black. And we're going to put it on the roof. And the magnets are going to hook into, grab one of these off, our grommets just like this to hold our tarp in place while we pull against it to put poles in. So we're taking the 5 foot side of this, and that's what we're going to use on the top. And I'm just going to stick it on there for right now and let it hang and go to the other side. And I've done this a few times now, so I know about where to put this magnet to get this tarp tight. And it's kind of right in the corner of this every time. And it's not going to come off of there. It's a pretty heavy duty magnet. Now there's several things I like about these poles. The one is that it's got a cap on it so you can have a straight spike or you can have a rounded rubber tab there if you're putting this up in a tarp instead of through a grommet. It also works really well because it extends, and all you do to lock it is twist it one direction and that locks it. So it's very easy to extend and lock that pole, and it's also very easy to adjust once you get it up. And once you get both poles in here and get them adjusted for height, again, all you got to do is twist that pole, drop it down to the height you need, get them leveled out, drop a rope over the top of it, come out here and put a marlin spike in your stake line. You're going to be in pretty good shape. Is that good and tight? And once you got this shade awning set up, it gives you a really nice place to just hang out for the day. If you're going out to explore for an hour or two and come back, you can lock everything up easy enough. Just leave the overhang out to give you that shade when you get back. If you're fishing somewhere, it's back right up to the bank. Set this dude up, fish out from underneath this bad boy all day, and you're in the shade. You can cook on the tailgate. There's all kinds of possibilities with this awning. You can put it off to one side or the other because you've got basically a 5 foot long by 5 foot wide shell on top of this, which makes it real conducive to all these setups. A 10 by 13 tarp, which I've got in here that I carry with me all the time, That covers everything enough to even have a hammock underneath here on the hammock stand, and it's plenty of coverage for that. So this is a very versatile system, and if you've got 4 of these poles stored in the back of your truck and a couple tarps, man, you can do lots and lots of nice setups for camping out of your vehicle. Guys, I appreciate you joining me out here today for this quick video on how to rig a tarp using magnets if you have a magnetic type top on your vehicle like I do on this Gladiator with the smart cap. It makes things very, very simple. It makes things very versatile, and it makes it very easy and quick to set up, especially if you have a couple poles, a little bit of paracord. You can pretty much stash little setups inside your vehicle that are ready to go depending on what you choose to do. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, and for our business, for all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends. I'll be back with another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks.